Come closer. I need to tell you a story. It's etched in ash and ruin. I'm what's left, a memory of a place that thought it was eternal. And listen, this isn't some tale of heroes. Think of it as a warning from the wreckage, a lesson we learned far, far too late.
We believe that silence was peace. We really did. We mistook the quiet for safety. But underneath all that calm, something was growing, waiting for its season. This is the story of that harvest, a reaping of everything we had sown in our own blindness.
I remember a kingdom of light, so bright, that it cast the deepest of shadows. Our home, it was built on a promise, a fragile one, it turns out, that we could just build our walls high enough to keep all the darkness out.
We called it strength, but its true name was comfortable ignorance. We had convinced ourselves that monsters were just things of the night, phantoms that the dawn would always chase away. For generations, that was our foundation, a foundation made of sand.
Our delusion was total. We told ourselves that evil was a choice, just a flicker in someone else's soul. We never once thought to look down, to check the very ground beneath our feet where the rot was already taking hold.
But here's the thing you have to understand. What you ignore doesn't just vanish. It gathers, it waits, and everything we chose to forget began its own terrible harvest, right there in the dark where we refused to look. And what did this nightmare feed on? It wasn't some mythic evil from beyond our walls, no. It was nourished by us, by all the small cruelties we just brushed aside, the warnings we heard from people we called mad, all the shames we buried deep, just hoping they'd never be found.
But you can't bury something that has wings. All of that guilt, all of that fear and denial, it didn't just fester, it transformed. It grew wings of impossible span, turning our beautiful blue horizon into a gaping maw. It rose right from the foundation to claim the sky.
So when it finally came for us, it wasn't an invasion. There was no army at the gates, no foreign beast from some legend. The end came as a confession, a final, screaming admission of the truth we had denied for so long.
We spent all our time scanning the horizons for monsters, but the enemy was never out there. Our watchtowers were looking completely the wrong way. There was no beast to slay.
Our city simply gave way. It buckled under the crushing mass of everything we had refused to see in ourselves. Every lie, every secret, every buried shame, they all had a weight. And in the end, that weight was more than stone and mortar could possibly bear.
The flames that lit up our final night, that wasn't from a dragon's breath. No, that was the heat of our own secrets finally burning their way into the open. The city was screaming its own sins into the sky.
And now, for those of us who survived, who just wander through this furnace light that used to be our home, the true horror, it came after the collapse. It came in the quiet, in the smoke, with a terrible, dawning clarity. So what was the real tragedy? I mean, was it our grand towers, our libraries, our homes? Were those the things that really mattered in the end?
No, the real tragedy was looking into the face of the thing that destroyed us and seeing our own reflection. Every twisted feature, every hateful eye, it was ours. We had created the monster from our own image. And that is the curse we carry now. This hollow knowledge. We finally understand that just because you survive another day doesn't mean you're safe. Sometimes all it means is you've given the darkness another day to grow stronger, feeding it with your own complacency.
So I tell you this story from the ruins, and it's not for your pity. It's for your preservation. This is the lesson I have to share. It's the only thing of value left for my entire world.
Remember this. It is a law as true as gravity. What you bury does not die. It just waits. It gathers its strength in the dark, and one day it will rise. It will always rise.
So, look to your own world, look to your own foundations, and ask yourself, what are you burying in the name of peace? Because when you mistake your endurance for safety, you are only feeding the very thing that will one day blot out your sun.